We're gonna need another big hole.
It don't fit.
Oh man, just don't tell Charity. Even though deep down I think she really knows it.
Ben does know something once in a while.
See? See? Okay guys, so we have Derek here today and I messed up. We knew our cargo carrying capacity was gonna be around 15K, right? We took a lot of stuff out during the renovation of this RV. So we thought, you know, that's gonna give us a little bit more room for, you know, lithium batteries, solar. Before all that, we did go to the CAT scale. And what we didn't realize is we don't have the carrying capacity to install solar at this point and stay under the 15K GVWR. Most RV builds start with solar. We're actually doing the opposite. This setup charges our lithium batteries without a single solar panel. If you want to do basic things like boondock, lot dock, this is the most cost-effective way to prep an RV to be off-grid. Lithium alone is going to give you double the capacity of a lead acid battery. This solution is going to keep the batteries charged when going down the road, so the fridge isn't draining the batteries before you get to your lot docking spot. What we're going to do is going to be able to charge up the lithium batteries as we're going down the road. I've talked to several people over the years, and some people will just bring battery banks, right? If you do this, this is going to give you a lot more capability, and this is how I'm gonna do it. All of these items are exactly how we're going to do it. These two little guys right here are gonna make a lot of this work, and I'm gonna show you how. I'm excited. What's Evie and Charity doing? Are you in the garden? What do you got there? Hi. Oh, hi, Evie. Hi. You got lettuce for lunch? Oh, look at that.
She's going to go see Derek.
She's going to see Derek.
Yeah.
All right.
She's like, I know everybody. Hey, come here.
Derek!
Everybody loves the dog.
So he's getting some thick gauge wiring. So we're definitely gonna need some heavy gauge for this type of project. Oh yeah! Oh geez, watch out, Derek! Derek, don't die on the job here, okay? You cannot hurt yourself.
What is the plan with this? Are we trying to put in that toolbox?
So yeah, this is what we're trying to figure out, Derek, is what the plan is. So what we want to do is figure out where to put these, and these are the DC to DC chargers. Since this truck has 2 alternators and 2 batteries, we can essentially hook up these Orion XS smart DC to DC chargers to run this thick cable from the truck alternators to these, and essentially plug in an Anderson plug on the back of the truck somewhere to plug in the RV as we're driving down the road. Have you ever done this kind of setup before? Or?
I've put in DC to DC chargers. We're going to do it a little bit different than we have, but I've certainly put these in for sure. These are nice chargers. These have only been out for a year, so they're much better than the previous ones that were out. So.
Okay. What I thought is maybe I've got this toolbox that is water resistant that we could potentially mount them in.
Right. And these are IP65, so these can get
a little
some
bit
moisture.
damp.
So.
And then I've got the tonneau cover going over top too. That's always,
right.
When the RV's hooked up, I mean, these are strapped. This could potentially get some rain.
I mean, I like inside the box better for the chargers, but then we got to get wires in and out of there also. So
Which
that
I
means
think
holes
there's,
into the
there's,
box. Is there
there's,
ports in
I
there?
think there's ports in the back there. So we'll have to get underneath and see. So we'll just need to figure out a way to get from the battery and alternators under the truck probably.
Yeah, right.
And then
around the firewall.
around the firewall. Then we need to go from the bed to the RV. I like all the ports to be on the side.
Fifth wheel makes sense up here. Travel trailer, you got
Yeah.
no choice but to kind of go down there.
Yeah. All right. I think we have a plan. All right. Thank goodness Derek's like skinny, because he's getting under there and measuring how much space we have back in here. Because there's a lot of unused space back here, the toolbox. And if we can find a little, like a waterproof toolbox or something to put back there, we can fit all the components inside there. So we might make a Home Depot run once we get the measurements. All right, Derek's never had Uncrustables, so we're gonna, since he likes peanut butter and jelly sandwich, we're gonna have some Uncrustables. This is our little food review. Let me know what you think of it, Derek. How's it? They're frozen. How's the texture?
All right.
What does it taste like?
Tastes like a peanut butter jelly.
All right.
I think I like the real peanut butter and jelly better. But,
You do?
but
Okay.
It's not too bad.
This is, pretty kind of quick and dirty.
Quick and easy.
Yeah. All right, so we need to find a box, actually 2 boxes that are weather resistant.
Is this gonna go?
One that would fit both of them. We figured out a good box to put those DC to DC chargers into, and it's gonna be a rigid box basically from Home Depot. I've got that on order. That'll be here tomorrow. Derek, what are you looking at up there?
This is the engine of the truck.
This is the engine of the truck with the alternators. So we're trying to figure out where to connect up.
They do look like they're wired individually.
I know the truck makes weird noises like that sometimes.
I don't see anywhere that. So I probably have no choice but to like unhook
the battery
like a battery cable to just check it for continuity to see if like this cable.
Was this here? Sitting here?
Yeah, it was just sitting like that.
Was that?
No, I'm kidding.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I took it
I was
off
like,
right here.
oh, got it. All right, so
those are all positive connections in there that are fused.
So in theory, each of these alternators will provide kind of equal power.
I mean, that's what I'm hoping. I mean, I'm really hoping they're not like one's wired to that, one's wired to this.
Right.
Because like then I am gonna have to pull from both batteries.
It's a matter of figuring out kind of how it's set up to where we know how
That'll
to connect it up.
be determined by like if there's voltage at this line.
Okay, so you're saying there's voltage on this battery, so it means it's also
So they're
connected.
not like 2 separate
systems.
It's not like this one's by itself charged by that alternator and that one's by itself charged by the other alternator. So.
Derek found this little issue where I don't know if it came from the factory like this or what, but basically all this copper here is not bound up in there, so it's basically using half the gauge of the wiring for the connection. So he's gonna, just because he has attention to detail and likes to do things right, he's gonna fix that up too. So what a guy. That's what I like about Derek. Always looking at the fine details too. Wow, those are big guns right there. What is that thing? That's a crimper. DeWalt crimper. So he's gonna crimp on a nice brand new end. So there we go. So that thing slips on there. Oh man, nice. It's a beast. That's it?
That's it.
It's not coming off, huh? Wow. You can pull that. Ready? Give it the tug test. Dang! Look at that. The next thing we need to figure out is where to connect up the DC to DC chargers. We need to find out where to tie into from the alternator. So Derek is going to slide underneath and see where we need to connect into. Derek's going under. So he's going to basically find out where the cable is, the positive cable going from the battery. Whoa, you're having way too much fun, Derek. Way too much fun.
There's a big hill you're on here. Rolling away.
So we're basically going to make sure it's not going to get in the way of any exhaust or the drive shaft or anything. Find the best path down to get to the bed of the truck, and then from the bed of the truck to the back where we mount that plug.
I just moved it a little bit. This popped right out of there.
Pops right out. Oh wow.
So obviously that was not crimped very well.
Not crimped.
They needed to strip a little more off.
Yeah, that's pretty short. We tested the old inverter and it's basically not working at all. So that was the initial problem in the RV. So we're gonna go ahead and connect up this new inverter here. All right, out with the old inverter.
Yep.
All right, first day. We didn't get a whole lot done today, but at least we figured out what we need, what we don't need, and got some wire on order. Got a tool that's coming tomorrow that will help me to determine where the 2 AC wires are going into the RV. So I'll tell you more about that tomorrow. So we're done for tonight. Okay, so just dropped Trinity off at school and I'm going to pick up Derek. at a little hip camp that he found that he's staying at while helping me out with the solar setup. We're gonna go ahead and swing by the Home Depot and see if we can maybe find a different enclosure system. What I was thinking is maybe a Milwaukee toolbox with one of those clip-in like wall mounts might be a better solution if Home Depot has one of those. There's this beautiful setup right there. Wow. Hey man. All right, Derek, delicious donuts here.
Oh boy.
Oh man, going to Home Depot.
Find something good.
Find something good here, right, Derek?
Yep.
All right. We're gonna measure up some of these Milwaukee boxes to see what might fit. We're using a Milwaukee.
We had a DeWalt one first, but it wasn't.
Yeah, that wasn't very accurate for the Milwaukee
totes.
So that's 6.
This is here. It's about 6.5. 15, which
15.
is exactly what that spot was. It's 15.
Yeah. But the only thing is it's got the dividers can come out here, but then you got this divider. But we could drill through, work with that. If we mounted this to the bed, if it fit,
Not sure if we're gaining much.
No,
short of
it's
being
just
able to easily pop that free, but when there's wires running through it, you're not going to be easily.
You're not going to pop
and
it
take
free.
with you. 15 is what we had for that.
15 for the, yeah. So we didn't have to mount it out. Oh,
Honestly,
so that might fit in that lip.
That would probably work, honestly.
The DeWalt one has less lips here and stuff, a little more flat room. How many? 14.
That's work. That'll work.
Okay. So that'll work.
Yeah, it would be tight there. So it probably won't be able to be mounted where the lid can open all the way. It's probably gonna be like have to be like that where the lid would stop.
Yeah. Oh, that's
without
fine.
you like taking
Yeah,
it
yeah,
free.
yeah. That's fine to get into it and close it up. But I feel like that's the best one so far. We couldn't use this mounting stuff anyways, so all right. But we could just screw that to the bed.
Right.
Okay. All right, Derek. So we just picked up this DeWalt Tough System 2.0 for our little weatherproof box. So we're gonna use this to put all the DC to DC chargers in. The plan is just to put that box. There's a bunch of unused space in front of the Tonomate toolbox that really I can't use. And so that box will fit right in there nicely, allow me to still open up the cover to access it, but keep it closed to keep it sealed. We're gonna figure out a way to mount that.
Right.
Somehow. We'll figure that out. But today, the goal is to get the wire run from the battery back to the RV, right? We unfortunately don't have the wire yet. It's coming from Amazon today, so we'll get it sometime today. But in the meantime, we figured, what can we do in the meantime until that comes?
Well, we can get all the stuff mounted in that box and figure out the layout in there.
So we've got this blue wire I figured we could use. This is the Victron blue that he has. 2-gauge wire.
Kelly cable.
So we can connect up the truck Anderson connector, come up through here. So when this is connected up to the truck, this will come nicely through there down to where the batteries and everything is.
So essentially this will be another wire you'll connect with alongside the 7-pin.
Yeah.
So you'll have your 7-pin wire, and then you'll have your DC to DC charging wire.
But that's going to give us a lot more juice coming through this cable.
But I mean, 100 amps from your DC to DC charger, that's like having 12 to 1400 watts of solar on the roof.
Yeah.
That would be a similar thing. So with 2 alternators, you got plenty of power for the 100 amps. But everybody might not have that. There's a lot of trucks that only have 1 alternator. And in that case, you would maybe only want 1 DC to DC charger that you could still throttle down to 40 amps or 30 amps if you wanted.
We're not taxing the alternators by any means.
Right.
So it's not going to burn them out.
Right.
Okay, so just a few things we wanted to clarify is like...
So you can get a lithium BEM instead of DC to DC chargers, but there's no adjustments on there. It's just basically a switch that's open and
full
closed.
on and then off.
It opens and closes. It's supposed to not stress the alternator with the BEM by like being connected for 15 minutes and disconnecting for 15 minutes and connecting for 15 minutes. But a DC to DC charger is a better way to go in my opinion.
So, all right, well, let's get started. The first step here in building this box out is going to be to remove the toolbox. So we're gonna go ahead and get the toolbox out of the way. We're gonna pull out that grommet. Oh, we could tie the box to that.
Just like
Yeah.
put in another hook. And
Hook right there and hook it down. So that grommet right there pulls out. And so we're gonna just go right there and then somehow fix it to the back of the bed there.
Those already have to get mounted up on there. I'm just gonna have to go up on that lift and bury it.
And then bus bar will go there.
May just have to do like, just sucks because the one I want to use has the fuse holders in it. That's what the benefit is. Otherwise, it's going to be very hard to fuse this shit.
Right.
But I mean, hell, that's going to eat up most of that spot.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're making a little bit of a
pivot. Pivot. Pivot.
So as we've kind of put things in place, he made a good point that if we put the DC to DC chargers in the box up there with the truck, then we have a problem where if I end up getting a servo in the rig that helps everything communicate together, it's not going to have that capability.
So that's the nice thing about the new Victron DC to DC chargers is they do have the communication port, the V direct to connect it to the servo. You can get everything to communicate through DVCC, and the voltage is shared across everything, and you can get a little better charging and a little better communication between all the products if they're all connected to the servo.
And please note the complete absence of side fumbling, owing to the maintenance of tolerances allowing a tight conniption fit.
So what we're gonna do is use the DeWalt box to put the Blue Eddy DC to DC charger in there. And that way I can bring the battery pack in the back of the truck and charge it
From the alternator.
But also, since we're gonna have one plug anyways from the truck to the RV, we're gonna mount these on a piece of wood that we spray black. And that way, if I ever move RVs, I can just unscrew the piece of wood with the DC to DC chargers and move it to the new rig. All right, Derek, so what are you doing up here?
I'm working on trying to get the wire
Through
the front of the RV here. So this will be the wire that will connect to the truck along with your 7-pin wire
Okay.
with the Anderson terminal.
Okay,
plug.
so that just, you fish that right up through to the,
Yep. So
that's a nice little fish wire that you have there. That's like a little, wow, it's like a little, what is it, a plastic?
Yeah, I mean,
fish wire.
it's, you know, spool. I keep the rods and this.
Yeah.
They both have their purposes.
I've got the rods.
I use the rods more than this, honestly.
Really?
But
Okay.
there's times that this is beneficial.
Okay. Oh, such is the life of a solar installer. Oh, you got it back. You got it back.
But I gotta
pull
get
it
to where it's taped again. Oh, here we go. I need to get it all.
So we're running the blue DC to DC charger from the RV to the truck. There we go. I'm going to real quick explain what we ended up doing here. So we've got two 270 amp hour Battleborn batteries, the game changers that I absolutely love. We're gonna put those in, and then we're really doing a simple setup here. We are putting in this 2000 watt inverter by Battleborn. Ideally, these particular inverters are good for a simple basic setup, right? So like if you're a 30 amp RV, or you're doing something like we're doing here, is we don't need an overkill system, but we want something that's kind of just a, you know, plug and play. You take out the old inverter and you can put in this. This is going to be connected to the fridge and a couple different outlets in the RV that we specify. So this is going to allow us to connect multiple things, but we're not going to connect it to the entire RV because we don't want to overload it.
For this setup, we're just trying to keep it simple and a simple swap out from
Yeah.
what they had for the inverter they had, but also get a little bit more out of it than what they had.
Yeah. This is the bus bar, right?
All right, this is the fuse holder, so this is a positive.
This is the fuse holder.
Fuse holder here.
A&L fuses go across here.
If you buy one of these, you gotta make sure you tighten up the back nut. Like typically when you get it, it's got this nut on there too, which is what bolts the fuse down, but you gotta take those off. And then before you put the fuse on, tighten this nut up a little bit because I've seen them loose before.
Yeah, so I just saw you tighten these and they were a little bit loose, so.
And loose connections causes heat.
Yep. Say that with me, folks. Loose connections cause heat, and heat melts things.
If it's hot to the touch, either something's loose or the wire's not sized properly or there's just something wrong.
So now we just need to figure out, we need to move stuff around a little bit. So this is the slide controller. All right, we're gonna put it in and see if it fits.
It don't fit.
The wood doesn't fit? Oh man.
I just gotta get
Oh, okay. It's just a better angle. Gotta get a better angle there. Alrighty. There we go. Now we're talking, Derek. That looks pretty. Get them started and then we'll lift it up. Okay. And then I can just hold it in place. Nice.
So, you got two DC to DC chargers. People would like to just take the cables and make them whatever length looks the nice, but the cables need to be the same length on the output.
Okay. Very technical way to measure the same length.
Yep. And again, it's not like we gotta be like
No,
at the millimeters, but really like if you do calculations on resistance, it doesn't take much difference in length to change the resistance.
Yeah.
And they are much smaller than like a Victron inverter. I mean, that's where like they would have their place.
Yeah. Does look nice. She looks pretty. Actually, could you move it up a little bit? Just kidding. Joking. Yeah, you're holding it there for a while there. Looks good. She's so happy to see you, Derek. I went and picked up one of these at Lowe's, Derek. This is a sniffer toner tool. And we're gonna get you one because you've got to have one. I think it is, man. This tool is amazing because if you're working with RVs, you need to find wires and in walls, and you know, we'll hook this up to the electric, one on the positive, one on the negative. We'll take this sniffer end, we'll turn this on, it sends a signal through the wires. Take this end and go around and go.
Because we have one wire coming out of the old inverter that we don't know where it goes.
Right.
That's why we're trying to figure this out.
Yes, yes, because we know one goes to the fridge. You know, obviously that's a given.
We've guaranteed or confirmed that, but we have not found where the other one goes.
Yeah, and we're hoping that it goes to like somewhere like that we can plug like a coffee pot into, because that would be a perfect situation, or a TV or something. So Derek, what we want to do is you want to take this and hit record this part. So we want to hook up this Klein Tools tester to this set, right? So hot, negative, right? Then we're going to turn, what's that?
White would be neutral.
White would be neutral?
All right, that's fine. That's fine. That's what you want.
That'll work?
Yes.
So see how you get closer? All right, so now we're gonna go in the RV and then just run this little, oh, we don't have a light. Do you have a flashlight? So basically it's on. We just need to bring it down here and it's touching this wire.
Well, those both connect to the inverter.
So we're gonna start at the panel, see if we can find out if it's connected through here.
Shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be, but a good start. These are all the wires, right?
Right, those are all the neutrals. So it's nice that it's not making sound there, because I was afraid just them being all tied together, like you would get some signal from it. So you're getting
good.
nothing.
So nothing there. So now we just need to go around to the different outlets and yep.
Wow.
So it's this one.
Yeah, let's go around and check some other ones and see if we find another one.
Yeah, because
like this one up here, does it sound on that one?
The one that was broken in there, you went to either the bottom or top one.
Thing is to probably like pull that outlet out now and check it with continuity the same way we did the other one.
So yeah, no tone here. But isn't that cool though? I mean, it can.
It did work. I'll give you credit.
It worked. It found.
Ben does know something once in a while.
See? See? Proof. Just don't tell Charity. Even though deep down, I think she really knows it. Okay, so I wanted to address the elephant in the room, as some of you guys might have heard some things going on in the RV community when it comes to battle-borne batteries. I wanted to, give you a different perspective from a technician's perspective. And, you're probably wondering, like, why am I recommending battle-borne batteries? Mainly because, like, we've had battle-borne batteries for years. We had 900 amp hours on the Class A of the 100 amp hour batteries, and really we didn't have any issues with those
lived
batteries.
in a tough environment because they were exposed to the heat of the engine, they were exposed to the elements outside. So really those battle-bornes you had before lived a pretty tough life, and they all did just fine.
Yeah, so I'm doing this video and I'm including these in this install because I do trust them. How many installs have you done using battle-borne batteries?
I don't know how many exact RVs I have out there, but I certainly got hundreds of battle-borne batteries out there between the 100 amp hour ones and the 270 amp hour game changers. And I have had a couple of the 100 amp hours fail, but battle-borne was real good about it. They handled the warranty right away on it. I've installed other brand batteries too, and I've also had some problems with some other batteries. It was just the same thing. The one comes off the shelf with a loose connection or something, So for the amount of batteries that are out there on the market, I can bet battle-borne probably has more lithium batteries out there than most other companies, if not any other company out there. So
you're gonna hear
potentially
about more
have
issues.
more chance of failure just because there's more batteries out there. I don't know, battle-borne's a company I trust, and I feel like they make a quality battery that they will stand behind if there's problems.
Yep, I wouldn't recommend something to you guys that I didn't trust myself. All right, there's another cable I made, Derek. Another end. Look at that. Those nice orange ends. Isn't that pretty? He's got all kinds of fun tools, crimpers and heat guns and just.
Those are the big guns.
He's got the big guns. Whoa.
Big guns over there.
We're getting close to be able to test this. So
Testing Ben's pizza out.
what do you think? It's Costco special. Gotta feed the guy, We basically hooked up the fridge, the microwave, and then this outlet right here.
We did this because this was what was easiest. This was the wires that were available from the original inverter without running new wires through the RV. That's why we went this route. It just happened to be what they had done before. They tied into the microwave for the other inverter, so that line to power the fridge. When they changed some stuff before, that made it easy for me to put the microwave on this inverter.
To add that in.
So that's why we did that.
The biggest thing is we want to make sure, like, you can get decision fatigue very easy and like figure out trying to get into a project like this. But the biggest thing is just always go down the easiest path, the most simple path. Minimalistic usually.
But make sure things are safe.
But make sure it's
everything
safe,
in here is still protected by a
Yep.
15 amp breaker. So like if something was overloaded, either the breaker at the breaker panel box would trip, or there's a breaker, resettable breaker on the inverter that would trip.
All right, getting the finishing touches on the wiring, the ground right now, and we should be able to power up that bad boy. Derek's just checking out all the wires, so every single one he's going through and just jiggling them.
I know this one's not tight.
Right.
Get it tight first.
Yep.
Check all of them.
So how do you know if they're tight? They just don't move back and forth?
I mean, obviously, like I do have a
torque
wrench that I
Yeah.
used for a while, but
Yeah.
I got so I liked them just a smidge tighter than what Big Tron specs were anyway, so I stopped using that because I didn't like the wrench that much.
Got it.
So you want to tighten them down. I mean, yeah, don't be like using an impact and cranking them right down. You don't want to break anything off, but you want them tight in an RV.
Yeah.
It bounces around. So when I installed those, I tugged on them a little bit with like a pair of, those pliers to make sure they were tight.
Okay, so now this little blue wire is going to go into there, and that ties into the 12-volt system.
Right, so that's just how the 12-volt DC system of the RV connects to the new lithium.
To the new lithium.
I was ready for it that time.
Yeah, you were. Okay, so here's the existing factory 55 amp converter, and then here is the lithium one that has the AD on it. So this little plug plugs right in. There's actually a power plug on the fuse block there.
It's on the back
fuse
side.
panel.
If yours is built into the breaker panel box, it is not that hard to unscrew that and unwire it and take it out of there and put a lithium compatible one in there.
All right, so just pull up the plug. We just plug right into there. Ugh. It's fun doing this one with one hand. You want to make sure this is using the lithium profile, and how do you know if it is?
I mean, it's supposed to auto detect. I mean, obviously I like the ones that have the switch better, but they do work pretty good. So it should automatically detect when you switch to lithium. There's a light in there. If it's green, that's typically the lead acid AGM profile. If it's blue, that's the lithium profile.
All right, Derek. Now's the moment of truth.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
See what happens if we're turning it on.
All by this cutoff switch here.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Okay, all the wires are tight.
Oh, this has got a cover it needs on, yeah, but that's okay. One more time, out. These are both in.
Okay, all right.
Grounds are connected.
Let her rip.
That was anticlimactic.
Huh. Oh, we have to hit the power button?
Yeah, well,
There.
yeah, I didn't expect that to do anything.
Okay.
I hit the power button. I was gonna wait and check a few things first.
Oh really? Do you still need to do that?
No, we're fired up now.
Shoot.
Typically,
Right.
I'll like check the voltage like there and make sure like
should I turn it
they're
off?
like, no, it's alright,
All
it's
right.
fine.
All right.
It
I
showed
had
right
so much
here.
confidence in you, Derek, that that shows
Output,
13
I mean, it's
too.
outputting power. 100 watts is going somewhere.
Okay.
Yes, let's go inside and see what's happening.
All right.
Yeah.
Derek, there's lights in here.
Yep.
Lights
So
are
that's
working.
all coming from just your battery.
Yeah.
It's not the inverter.
Right.
But yeah, the fridge is working.
Okay, the fridge is on.
You
Dude.
can see it's only burning like
Look at
100
that.
watts.
Yeah. Wow.
So that means fridge
That
and
means
microwave
fridge, microwave.
should be
no-
fine together.
Yep.
As long as
And then
it's
that
not
plug will
the
obviously
compressor
work.
starting at the same time the microwave's running. That would be the one variable.
It feels like the lights are brighter, almost maybe because that connection was not
Yeah,
the
that connection's
greatest.
not good before.
So,
that,
it would flicker every once in a while too.
yeah,
So
yeah, that was your problem for sure.
wow, it's so bright in here. It's crazy. Okay.
This piece of pizza, we can see what.
Yeah, we could throw that in the microwave. Here, high five, man. All right. Yeah, I mean, let's throw it in, warm it up. Nice.
Pan and everything. First thing happens
All
is
right,
gonna shut
we're gonna
off.
put this Battleborn inverter to the test.
Right now,
and,
it's only
we're
been
gonna
3 minutes.
throw some pizza in the microwave. It's not a convection oven, so it's a microwave, but so, yep. All right, it didn't even.
Let's go see what the
No lights flickered. Let's see what it
the
shows.
screen's showing.
Yeah. Fridge is running. All right, let's see what. Oh yeah. So it's spinning up.
1,750 watts.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's about as.
All right.
I mean, it's a 2,000 watt inverter, so.
Yeah, it's working it for sure.
You see if it makes it through the whole 30 seconds of the microwave. Oh, just shut off. So yeah.
Pizza nice and toasty.
Hot.
All right.
If the microwave was running when the compressor started, it probably didn't be too much. But,
Yeah, sure.
But maybe not.
All right.
Boom.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
All right, and then this plug should work in theory too.
Right. Yep, you should be able to plug something
So
into it.
should be able to plug. Yep. and she turns on.
Awesome. I should get those put on there first.
Let's go on. Make them water resistant. That little connection's really nice. Nice connection.
Just like so.
All right, and it
Just
locks in
how it
place.
clicks.
Locked and loaded.
Yep. Same thing. I'll make sure it clicks in. Those probably won't be all that much fun to push in there, but I'll let you work on that.
Yeah, I'll
Ben.
do this. I got this. So now we need to put some loom around this wire that's going to basically run from the battery to the back of the truck. So it's got to be done to protect the wire that's under the truck so it doesn't wear a spot and short out. I took the black tape and wrapped it all the way around. So we have a big, long, positive loom and a negative loom that we can bring from the battery down the side of the truck underneath, up the bed, and tap right in there. So you're able to find a place, to get it under through the frame rail, or no, down the side? Yep. So now we're just trying to get it down this hole. Just pulling wire under the truck.
2 gauge.
2 gauge wire.
2 gauge welding cable. So
Yep, welding cable.
high strand. Don't go and buy 2 gauge THHN because
That's not very flexible like
it'd be
this.
a nightmare to work with. Even though it's cheaper, don't do
And
it.
it sounds like you know this from experience, huh?
Yeah, back before I didn't know anything, I used a 2-aught THHN. Like you couldn't even bend it if you're a Hulk Hogan.
Oh my gosh. There we go.
I need a bigger hole, eh?
Oh, we're gonna need a bigger hole? There we go.
I mean, obviously there's another one.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna need another big hole.
So do we just drill another one that size, probably?
Yeah. Well, son of a gun. So we just pulled the wire and we realized we didn't get enough of the
It's close.
red and black.
If we weren't going
But-
back out and around, it would be enough.
Right.
If we were just coming out of that box and down, there's plenty. But we'll probably go back and around. We're gonna have to start use blue and then.
Okay. Oh, but you do have more at least. It's just a different color.
Right. Yeah,
Okay. This is in place.
It's not
This-
fully cleaned up
the
yet, but it's close.
Inverter is, the batteries work.
I mean, they're charging and everything.
They're charging, the converters, lithium converters in. The fridge is running right now. It's
Okay,
charging
just
the
to
batteries just to
make sure everything.
test everything. Yep.
The fridge was running and we ran the microwave at the same time.
Yeah,
so
he
there's-
cooked his pizza, warmed his pizza up.
Nice.
And
it was at 1750 watts, so obviously it was like, it's a 2000 watt inverter, so we're
Right.
just pushing it right to its
Right, yeah,
edge,
yeah, to
but
the
it
limits.
ran for 30 seconds just fine. So.
Cool.
yeah. So pretty happy with that.
So you just we'll still have to get the
So-
generator and just make sure that putting the generator in the mix that still
Yeah.
charges the batteries.
Yeah.
Right,
It will.
which it will.
Unlike our other setup where it was like, now you got to change this configuration to
Yep.
this and that. This is just plug and play,
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
which
exactly.
dummy proof for
Right.
people that
It's
aren't
a-
used to this.
It's a
is
good,
thing.
yeah, I like these simple setups, in a way, for a certain situation.
I know you
I can-
love
I-
all the nuances.
I can overcomplicate
I like
things.
the simplicity of like, I
Yeah.
just want it to work.
Real quick, I gotta wish Miss Charity a happy birthday. Everybody help me out in the comments below. It's her birthday. How old are you, 50?
No.
No, she's not 50 yet.
This man does not value his life.
You're not mad at me.
No,
You're sure?
I'm fine.
Okay, cool, because I thought.
50.
No, you just look as good as when we first met. How did I do there? Good?
You're starting to dig yourself out of the hole.
All right. I'll take you to Texas Roadhouse tonight.
It's not open yet.
Oh,
I know.
darn it. All right, scratch that. Hurrah. All right, putting in these bulkhead connectors? Is that what they're called?
I was just call them waterproof thingies.
Waterproofing. Derek's technical term. Wow. That's a cool bit right there. So in this box is gonna live this Bluetti DC to DC charger, and from the box is we're gonna run, there's gonna be a little bus bar in there, and then from the bus bar we're gonna continue back to a connector on the back side here, probably right there or over on this side, and then that'll have the Anderson plug that we plug in to the RV plug that we just made right there. So when the fifth wheel's pulled up to the truck, plug that in, then we'll be getting the DC to DC charging from the truck to the RV batteries, and then this is going to basically allow us to bring the big Bluetti battery and charge that up while we're driving down the road. So we'll have kind of two dual DC to DC charging system.
This is kind of a cool device because you could actually like plug in a solar panel also, and
yes.
if you had a way of just like strapping a flexible panel on top of your tonneau cover, you really could run it into this and use a little solar panel to charge the Bluetti battery at the same time the alternator is. At the same time. Cool,
so you can kind of, and I might be able to find a way to strap a panel on there, because it's not like it's going to blow off easy because it's back behind the cab.
A flexible one or something that would,
you could
easy bungee that across there. I haul solar panels across the bed rails all the time to jobs, so that's why it's in my head as an option.
All right, so I wanted to take a quick minute to just share a little bit more about the Bluetti Charger 2 that we installed. Now, this product can especially be helpful for things like van builds, truck camping, or even car camping, because really it's designed to keep power setup simple when you just need reliable power on the go. Now, part of what makes the Charger 2 different is that it's the world's first alternator charger that works as a true vehicle power gateway. In real world terms, it has faster dual charging, and it can be charged from a vehicle and solar input up to 13 times faster than just a regular car charger. So it's perfect for road trips, off-grid use, but it's not just an alternator charger, because the Charger 2 also acts as a central power hub for your system and features full protection, automatic charge control, and smart alternator communication. So this just means a safer, smoother experience, and it's also compatible with 95% of power stations, and then it's fully optimized for Bluetti systems. So it just makes it much easier to build out a complete power system for a van, bus, schoolie, or truck camper. One of the biggest advantages is actually the flexibility, because power can come from your solar panels, your vehicle's starter battery and alternator, or other Bluetti power stations or expansion batteries. And then on the output side, it can charge expansion batteries, most power stations, or connect to the Bluetti D1 hub if you're building something bigger. And a great feature is that it can be used for emergency starting for your car. So if like our truck battery dies, we can actually monitor and manage all of that remotely through the Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, and it has real-time historical power data right from the phone. So if you're looking for a clean, flexible way to power up your adventures without turning your rig into a science project, the Bluetti Charger 2 does make a lot of sense. You can click the link in the description below to learn more, or order products from Bluetti.
All right, now we're just putting in the little connector on the back of the truck here to plug in this guy. Now it's going to give us the DC to DC charger connection.
One of our last connections.
Last connections. I hope this works. Moment of truth.
Power in that whole box.
Yeah, everything.
There's probably going to be a little bit of a spark.
A little bit. All right. A little spark. And
I need to go look in the box one time.
Okay, yeah. Let's see it. Let's see what it looks like in there. Ooh, wow.
He's going to grab a zip tie and zip tie this into here.
You nervous? Ooh.
A little bit.
Yikes. Ooh.
That was real climatic.
Anticlimactic. There we go. All right.
Jeez, that wasn't even making contact. Your truck didn't even have power.
Didn't even. That's funny. That's so weird. The sounds that it makes, yeah. It's like you're choking it or something. It looks like it's sleeping.
Yeah, there's a power
pulse
button, isn't on it?
Plug and play, right?
It's not gonna reach here.
Not gonna reach. Connect the one that's connected is flashing then? Okay. Make sure that no smoke. What is the... All right, so it is now charging at 24 amps, right?
On one, 31 on
31 on the other.
350.
So it sounds like it'll vary in voltage and or watts, amps that it provides based on if the truck's running at full bore or not.
You know, based off of how charged the batteries are.
How much?
Like, there's a lot of variables in a DC to DC charger and what you're going to see for output. And I see that in motorhomes and in like trailer pickup setups, that there's a lot of factors that'll vary into what you see. So,
okay, we got it done.
we did get it done,
So
even though I didn't think that was going to happen at a couple points.
Right, we thought we were gonna have to come back tomorrow, but we got it finished and got the DC to DC charger in. Tested the Blue Eddy charging for the battery bank. Everything's working. So
nope, we're good, I think.
thank you so much, man. I appreciate all your help.
I love working with you guys every time.
Yes, it was fun. It's always fun working with you and cracking jokes. A lot of them weren't necessarily on camera. Some of them were dad jokes, bad dad jokes.
Thanks for all the food.
We had fun.
Uncrustables.
Yeah.
Uncrustables.
A little bit of Chick-fil-A. And I've got a link set up at gratefulglamper.com/CCRV. And that's how you can contact him. And then he mentioned the best way to get a hold of him is just to call the number that's on the website.
Yeah, I mean, if you're serious and really want me to do some solar for you, certainly go to the website, fill out the contact form, but don't hesitate to pick up the phone and call me, 989-464-3314. I love talking solar with anybody. But if you pick up the phone and call me, I know you're serious. Sometimes we get a lot of emails that it's hard to stay on top of all of them. So reach out anyway. If you're serious, we'll make it happen.
All right. Sounds good, brother.
So, I appreciate it.
All right. There you have it. So now we've got this DC to DC charger set up. And so basically, you see this cord over here? This cord right here is coming out of the truck. And then this is the cord that comes out of the RV. And we're gonna basically connect those two together. And then now with those connected, going down the road, the truck alternators are charging the RV. So that's gonna top off the batteries. And then also in the back, you can see here, we've got the Blue Eddy that is being charged by the Blue Eddy DC to DC charger. So I can bring the battery bank and also, keep that charged as well, and charge anything that I need to charge when we're out and about. Back here you will see we've got this flex power dual fuel generator, and so we're going to be testing more of this out. I'll put a link to this one in the description below, but basically this is a dual fuel, so it'll take propane and gasoline. What I'm going to try to do is figure out how I can get this tied right to our quick connect line. If not, I can just screw this into a propane tank that I bring along. But between the DC to DC charger setup and the generator, we're going to be able to keep these batteries topped off without using solar. So super excited about this whole setup. Be sure to subscribe and we'll keep you updated on how things go, how this setup works out.